State House of Representatives, which covers the northern part of the county from 60th, right there, northern part of the acreage. If anybody lives south of 60th, then you're not in the district, which is kind of funny the way they draw the maps. But I do have a patient in the room, and I saw how big your font was, Greg. I didn't say that. You just needed to see it, or you need to get your eyes checked again. I don't know. Your fault. My fault?
No, it isn't.
It's my wife's fault. Anyway, I am a doctor of optometry. My wife and I have a small practice over here on Okeechobee and Jog Road. We do have a number of patients that live in the acreage part that do see us over that way. I do live in Palm Beach Gardens, East Palm Beach Gardens, off Prosperity Farms Road and Burns Road. I decided to run for the State House because as a past president of the Palm Beach County Optometry Association, I've traveled to Tallahassee. I've seen our legislators at work and our legislation at work, and I got confused and I got a little bit concerned about the motivations that drove some of the decisions. So that there's about 50 some odd attorneys out of the 160 member legislature. There's 3 doctors, and there's virtually no real small business owners that represent us. So when currently Carl Domino is our representative, he's term limited, so he could not seek re-election. So I decided to put my hat in the ring and decided to try to run for myself. So, you know, we've been working very hard for about the past year and a half. My opponent is Pat Rooney Jr., who lives over here in Ibis. Nice guy, does a lot of good things for the community, but it's the very reason I decided to run was because of somebody like Pat. I don't dislike Pat, I think he's a nice person, but we continue to seem to elect the same people over and over again because people tend to run for office because they can. We have people that run for office because they have connections. Pat is a lobbyist, he's represented the Kennel Club, all of which is fine, but I don't want to see that as my legislator. I've had enough of seeing people running for office because they can, and seeing the real people, the average person, like everybody in this room, to say enough's enough, I'm going to step up and run for office myself. It is pretty hard because even though you decide to run for office, and I've never run for office before, but when you choose to run for office, you're automatically lumped into that politician name. And, you know, I wasn't standing out there with my hands in my pocket. This is not that cool because I'm originally from Canada, long ago, and I moved to Florida in '94. But, you know, I'm not a politician. I'm just a regular guy that really cares about the community and wants to see some real representation. So November 2nd is our election. It's only 2 weeks away. We've been at as many places as we can. We come out to the acreage many times. At my first ALA meeting, there was just the board, and I just sat with the board here. There was not one single person in the room here. And, you know, I don't live out here, but I certainly want to be a part of the community. I grew up on a well and septic, and I decided I didn't want to do that when I bought my own home, so we decided to live in town. But, you know, this is what this community is all about. You enjoy being out here. You want to be out here because of what this community offers and what it does for you. And that's what's the beauty of this community here, and I certainly want to represent it. I don't, like I said, I don't live out here, but I will be available. I'm always available, and I'll be out here as often as I can to make sure that whatever issues are important here that affect at the state level, that you've got a strong voice. So, you know, we are 2 weeks away, like I said, and we have a big name that we're fighting against. We're doing a lot of mail pieces. Please take the time to read them because we put a lot of effort into getting them out there. And I'm going to ask you for your vote on November 2nd. I don't care what your party is, because I am running as a Democrat in a very heavily Republican legislature for the past 12 years. It's a big challenge for Democrats at this time, but I ask all of you to pay attention to what's been happening in Tallahassee and ask yourself, has the legislature in Tallahassee done good for you? Has it created real jobs? Has it created an economy that's more diversified than it should be? Has it created an education system that you're proud to put your kids in? And these are the things that inspired me to run. So I ask for your vote November 2nd. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors that you have somebody that really cares about the community and wants to represent you. So thank you for your time.
Any questions?
I guess I need to talk to you since you've been around.
Quick question. You know, one of the things that I criticize Tallahassee for big time is the backdoor sort of policy making. In other words, you know, they've created the laws that require every municipality and every government at a local level, or actually at a level below Tallahassee, to utilize government in the sunshine. And yet I found it unique that they mandate, and don't get me wrong, I'm for government in the sunshine.
But they exempted themselves.
But they exempted themselves from government in the sunshine. Do you have a position on that, or would you consider a position on that?
Well, this is government, and this is what the problem is about government. There's always the question about backroom deals. What are being said behind closed doors that we are not privy to? Look at the budget process. There's only 3 people in Tallahassee that are actually involved in writing the budget. And how does that affect, how does that help you and I? Absolutely not. And we have a former Speaker of the House that might be going to jail because he made sure that he was able to create a nice little hangar for one of his friends. And by the way, he took a nice job at the state university until he got caught. So, you know, my opponent, as nice of a guy as he may be, is a lobbyist. He's lobbied for the Kennel Club. This election cycle alone, his organization and family and friends have contributed over $250,000 to state officials, either parties or to representatives or to incumbents or whomever is running on both sides of the aisle. You know what, if that's what you're going to do as your business model, that's fine. But don't tell me you're going to represent me, because that doesn't represent me, because I'm never going to trust that very fact that you're going to do things in the up and up, and you're going to be able to come out here and tell me face to face that you did the right thing for the right reasons. He might do the right things, but I just don't have trust and confidence in that. So we absolutely have to have sunshine laws. We have to make sure that everybody in the room is understanding of what the questions are, what's influencing those decisions, and make sure the decisions are on the up and up. And I don't know a lot of people in the community. I'm meeting a lot of people. I'm learning very quickly, but I think that's the beauty of someone like me, that I don't have any connections with anybody. I'm going to be up there independent, and I'm going to be able to represent people because I have no connections to anybody. And I thank you for the question.